All right, man. So here's the thing about Kevin Holland, man. I like the dude, but I'm a little bit worried about him this weekend, man. He's fighting Mike Malott, and you never know which version of Kevin Holland you're going to get. Sometimes he's locked in, he's calm, he's patient, he's reading everything, and other times he's just out there winging shots, trying to vibe his way to the win. And that's the scary part. Like, I'm not saying that he's done or anything, but the inconsistency is real. And the frustrating part is that he can fight. When he's on, he looks like he's got the perfect mix of, creativity in my opinion. But lately, it hasn't been clicking the same way. His last performance didn't help my confidence either. He looked flat. He was going through the motions, the volume wasn't there, the energy wasn't there. And when things didn't go his way, you can almost see it in his face. The body language screamed, I'm not having fun right now. And that's a problem because Holland's whole thing is about having fun. That's when he's dangerous, when he's smiling, kind of talking trash and flowing. He's tough to deal with. But when he's quiet and thinking too much, it's like watching someone who just lost their spark mid-fight. It's not even about skill anymore. He's got good striking, sneaking submissions, long reach, all that. It's just mentally he feels unpredictable. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up and smoked that dude. And I wouldn't be shocked if he looked completely off again. In my opinion, it's hard to have faith in someone when the mental side keeps flipping every fight. And honestly, man, I think this all might just come down to Kevin being a little insecure about himself lately. Like, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It just feels like he's battling with his own confidence more than his opponents. I've seen people in the comments talk about it too, how he's always replying to random folks on social media, arguing, clapping back, defending himself. That's not the same carefree, Kevin Holland we used to see. That's a guy who's reading what people say about him a little too much. And when you start doing that, it usually means something's off mentally. Then, we got to look back. We had that Rampage Jackson, podcast where he said, I don't care about being a champion. And yeah, maybe he just being honest, but you can't tell me that he doesn't sound like someone who's losing a little bit of belief in himself. And it's not like you should be getting smoked by some of these guys. Like D-Rod, are you serious? You're losing at D-Rod? D-Rod's a crafty vet, but he's not elite. He's not that kind of fighter that should make Kevin look average. That fight was one of those something's off performance where Holland just didn't seem locked in. And this Saturday, he's facing Mike Malott. And that's exactly why Mike Malott is a little scary here. Stylistically, he's the type of guy that gives an unfocused Kevin Holland problems. He doesn't rush. He doesn't get baited into brawls. He just sits there behind that tight guard waiting for the right moment to fire. And that's the thing, right? Every punch is clean, straight down the pipe, no wasted motion. That's trouble for someone like Kevin Holland, who throws wide and relies on his reach. If Holland's not fully locked in and disciplined, Malot's going to split that reach in half with those straight counters all night. And what makes it worse is Malot's composure. He's not a dude who panics when you hit him. He just stays calm and he resets and he goes back to the plan. That's the opposite of Kevin Holland, who sometimes gets too emotional or tries to clown his way through bad spots. If Holland starts talking, starts joking around mid-fight, Malot's not going to bite. He's just going to time a right hand and make him pay. It's that quiet, patient pressure that can slowly take over a fight without looking dramatic. And then there's the leg kick game. Malott chops at the legs like he's cutting down a tree. You saw it in the Magny fight. Those low kicks landed hard and clean early on Holland. And Holland, he has that long stance, almost sideways sometimes, which makes him a bigger target for it. If Malott commits to that, it could kill Holland's movement by round 2. Once his legs slow down, his whole striking rhythm falls apart. We've seen that movie before. The long striker gets leg kicked to death. Suddenly he can't move or explode. Plus, Malott's power is kind of sneaky. He's not out there swinging like a madman, but everything he throws lands heavy. He throws to hurt, not just to score. Holland likes to roll with punches, with that Philly shell style, but Malott has some good hooks, man. Some sneaky hooks that can go through the guard. And if Holland starts backing up towards the fence, that's when Malott's combinations really start working. He's clean, he's measured, and he's fundamentally sound. Let's just say how it is. Exactly the kind of guy who punishes a fighter who's half engaged. So yeah, if Holland's not mentally there, if he's not dialed in this matchup, it can go south really fast. Malott's not the flashiest or the most athletic, but he's consistent. And consistency beats like chaos most of the time. Holland's the better athlete, the better striker on paper, but Malott's the better fighter when it comes to sticking to game plans. That's what makes this one so dangerous. If Holland shows up half asleep, Malot's just going to walk him down, piece him up, and make it look easy. Another aspect that gets me really worried for Kevin Holland is the grappling. That's the part that really makes this fight dangerous for Holland, man. The grappling, because Malott can strike, yeah, but his real bread and butter is mixing that in with a clean level change and top control. He's not one of those wrestlers who will shoot from a mile away either. He sets everything up with his hands. He'll sting you with the right hand, make you show up, and then he's under you before you even process it. And once he gets you down, he's not the type to just hang out, He's consistently looking to advance, throw elbows, hunting submissions, keeping you uncomfortable. What makes it tricky for Holland is that Malott doesn't need to chain like 10 takedowns, and he eats minutes off the clock. He's just got that sticky top pressure where he just hugs your hips and grinds you down. Holland's limbs are long, and it's also a double-edged sword in the situation. Yeah, they might help him with submissions, but they also make it easier for Malott to trap him and pass. And if he gets to half guard or side control, that's when he starts cooking, guys. I'm just being honest. He starts cooking like really good ass spaghetti. We saw it with Magny. He got to dominant positions early, controlled, lands some nice ground and pound. The dude's comfortable in the slow draining sequence. Then again, Neil Magny somehow beat freaking Mike Malott. MMA is crazy sometimes. But anyways, now Holland's grappling defense has definitely improved since the days when wrestlers used to just toss him around for fun, but he still has the habit of giving bad positions while trying to be slick. He'll roll, try to shrimp out, but sometimes he'll end up giving his back or just accepting the bottom because he's just too calm down there. That chill attitude doesn't always work when the guy on top is looking to squeeze your neck off. Malott's the kind of guy who'll take advantage of that, He's not flashy, and if he sees your neck, though, he's taking it home with him. Another thing is that Malott's submissions are no joke. He's got a legit BJJ background. He used to coach grappling at Team Alpha Male, so he knows how to blend wrestling with finishing instincts. He doesn't need much to lock up something. Half a window, and he's already wrapping up a guillotine or sliding into like an arm triangle, and you can't give him those little mistakes like posting an arm or trying to stand up lazy. That's when he snatches it and he ends the fight. So yeah, the grappling part is a big red flag for me. For Kevin Holland, if Malott gets him down early or just controls him for a round, it could be pretty much over. I can see the momentum shifting. And with Holland, once things start going south, you can kind of see in his face that here we go again look. And if he doesn't defend those takedowns early and stays urgent on the mat, it might not matter how good his striking looks. Malott could just make the fight ugly, sticky, and frustrated. Exactly the kind of fight that drains Holland and gives Malott a path to another submission victory. And I'm just going to be honest, man. I think Mike Malott's probably going to win. The best thing for Kevin Holland to do in this fight is just keep it long, keep it mean, and keep it simple. He's got that massive reach advantage, about 8 inches, and that's his golden ticket. If he uses that jab like a spear and keeps Mike Malott at the end of it, he can control everything. Long jabs, front kicks, and those quick 1-2s down the pipe. No spinning stuff, no clowning around, no random exchanges. Just keep it, sharp and touch him over and over again until Malott gets desperate. While Malott is trying to close the distance, and he will, Holland needs to meet him halfway with violence, meaning intercept him with straight punches, knees, or that short right hand he throws when people try to shoot. Don't back up to the cage. The second Holland's butt hits that fence, Malott's shooting, clinching, or dragging him down. He's going to circle, he's going to use lateral movements, and make Malott chase him. Holland's at his best when he's reacting fast and not reacting late. If this fight does hit the mat, the key is urgency. No more chilling on his back, no more smirking at the camera. Get up, post, and reset. He can't let Malott settle in or cook him from that half guard. Even if it means burning energy, he's got to make every takedown a pain in the ass. The longer he stays standing, the more this turns into his kind of fight. He also needs to weaponize his freaking chaos, but he has to do it in a smart way. The kind that throws Malott off rhythm. If he starts mixing in feints, talking a little, throwing weird angles after he finds his timing, that's when he breaks guys. But only once he earns respect. If he starts doing that too early, Malott's just going to time him and shoot under. The bottom line is this, man. Holland's got to fight mature. Long, range, striking, staying off the fence, defending the first couple takedowns, and then slowly open up. Malott's dangerous early, but if Holland can frustrate him, keep him guessing, and drag him into deep waters, he could start taking over. The longer this fight goes standing, the more it becomes Kevin Holland's playground. But personally, I don't have that much faith in Kevin Holland, sadly, okay? I do believe Mike Malott is going to beat Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland's not taking it as seriously. Now, don't get me wrong, he could prove me wrong. That's what I was trying to say in this video. But I just can't put money on him, dude. That last performance literally rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping Kevin Holland wins. I hope he knocks out Mike Malott in the first or second round. And, it'll be cool. I like Kevin Holland, okay? Even though how weird and toxic he could be. But I got Mike Malott. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, guys, I'll see you on my next one.